Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. Now, today's video is going to be talking about the upcoming matchup between Carlos Cuadras versus Juan Francisco Estrada taking place September the 9th in California. Stacked card. We really have to thank HBO for putting on the lower weight class, really showing what these fighters are all about. They're great fighters, high action fights, and the fans are going to love this card, I believe, in my opinion. If you're not familiar with these fighters, I'm going to be doing videos on all the matchups on the September 9th card. So definitely check those out, guys, if you're not familiar with the lower weight class fighters. This is a can't miss night of boxing, and I'm really excited for this matchups. So with no further ado, guys, let's talk about Carlos Cuadras and what he brings to the table in this fight. When you look at Carlos Cuadras as a fighter, this is a guy who uses unique angles. You'll see him throw uppercuts at times. He's really kind of a unique fighter and hard to figure out. Cuadras will use combination punching, and he's at his best when he's landing multiple punches, and then he gets out of range very quickly. He has fast feet. He has good lateral movement, good hand speed. So he's an extremely skilled fighter when you look at Cuadras, in my opinion, and he got notoriety, of course, with his close fight with Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. Um, that was a great, great fight, and if you haven't seen that, definitely go back and watch it. Now, Juan Francisco Estrada, what he brings to the table in this fight, Estrada, honestly, style-wise, in my opinion, he reminds me a bit of Juan Manuel Marquez. He's a good counter puncher. He's a very accurate puncher. He's a guy with great timing. When you look at him, he throws beautiful combinations, which a lot of time he finishes with a left hook to the body. He's very good at setting things up with his jab. Very, very smart fighter. And in my opinion, if you're talking about fighters in the sport of boxing who are extremely underrated, Estrada, in my opinion, would be number one on that list. He's rarely talked about, but he's a guy with outstanding skill set. I mean, you look at him as a fighter, he can counterpunch, he can be aggressive, lands good body punches, sets up things with his jab. Fundamentally, this guy is an extremely talented fighter, and he doesn't get the correct notoriety or respect that really Estrada deserves as a fighter, in my opinion. Now, when I look at some advantages in this fight that both have one over another, let's first start off with Cuadras and the advantages that he has in this matchup. Cuadras, in my opinion, has the better hand speed, better foot speed, and more lateral movement. I also believe he has a size advantage in this encounter. And Estrada's advantages, in my opinion, is he's the more accurate puncher of the two. He throws shorter, compact punches that are less frequented to be countered. Also, I believe he has the better timing of the two fighters, in my opinion. Now, some keys to this fight, I think, for both fighters. For Cuadras, he's going to have to gain momentum early in this counter, build off that energy that he loves to have in the ring. So he needs to land combinations and get out and make sure that Estrada cannot land effective counter punches against him. Use that size advantage. Do not let Estrada close distance on you. Use your size and fight smart in this encounter versus Estrada. Estrada, in my opinion, some keys for him in this fight is when you look at Cuadras' fight, especially when he's up close in mid range with his opponent, almost on the inside, basically. He's not quite on the inside, but he's close to that range. Cuadras can be hit with left hooks to the body quite a bit when finishing up combinations. And like I said, Estrada, that's one of his biggest weapons. So Estrada's got to attack the body early in this fight, and it's going to pay dividends really when you look at it throughout this encounter because then Cuadras cannot use that lateral movement at will like he likes to do. And Estrada's really got to keep Cuadras guessing and land some good counter punches and also mix in a bit of aggression as well to keep Cuadras off balance and keep him thinking. Now, ultimately, guys, in this fight, most people I'm seeing with, honestly, who have been talking about this encounter, they've been going Cuadras, and I don't blame them. I mean, he's got the hand speed, he's got the foot speed, you know, he's got the size advantage. But in my opinion, at first I was going with Cuadras, but as I watched more tape, I just leaned more to Estrada. And the reason why I think Estrada is going to pull out a victory in this fight is I really believe with Cuadras' style, he likes to build off momentum. But I think a lot of this fight, he's going to have trouble gaining momentum because I think Estrada is going to be able to land a lot of effective counter punches and throw off the time into Carlos Cuadras. And I also believe that Estrada's ability to be aggressive and land effective body blows and mix up combinations is going to be a key factor in this fight. And I think that left hook to the body is going to be something that's going to be key. And I do not think that Carlos Cuadras has the answer to stop that punch. When I look at him as a fighter, he's very good at that, but that's a weakness that Carlos Cuadras has overall in his game is he's not very good against the left hook to the body. He's been caught with that punch in previous fights. It's something he hasn't improved, and I think that Estrada, with his accurate timing and his ability to counter, especially with Cuadras' style where he throws the long punches, they're not right from his chin. They're out, and he is barely able to be countered with that type of style. He throws wide punches. Estrada, like I said earlier, is a compact puncher, and I think he'll take advantage of Cuadras' wide punches and land effective counters. It's not going to be an easy fight by any stretch of imagination. I think Estrada wins this fight 7 rounds to 5, probably, in my opinion, if I was saying so. And this encounter, it's going to be an outstanding matchup. It's going to be extremely close. I expect some debate after this fight. Most people, I don't think, are going to agree with me about picking Estrada in this matchup. But honestly, guys, that's just what I feel about this fight. I think Estrada pulls out the victory in this matchup. Also, another quick point I want to make, guys, is Carlos Cuadras actually changed his trainer again. He was with Robert Garcia before, and there was issues with him being focused. He was with Rudy Hernandez, who spent a lot of his time with excellent trainer as well. And he kind of looks like he blamed Rudy Hernandez for the last fight where Cuadras had issues focusing and overlooked his opponent trying to get a Roman Gonzalez fight. It's just a little X factor in this matchup that Cuadras seems to have some issues focusing in the gym at times. And maybe that's something that's going to catch up with him to this fight again. Just something to look out for, guys. Another change in camp. Different things he's going to be implementing. Could be a good thing for Cuadras, but honestly, leaving guys like Robert Garcia and Rudy Hernandez, I think, is a mistake in Carlos Cuadras. Honestly, guys, I think this is going to be a really tight fight, but I have Estrada winning a unanimous decision in this fight, 7 rounds to 5. Going to be a great matchup. Let me know what you guys think on this encounter. Who do you guys love winning this fight? Hope you guys are tuning in. Going to check out this great night of boxing. Thanks very much, guys.